Welcome to Call of the Wild.
Hey everyone, this is Monstercat's weekly radio show connecting you with some of your favorite artists.
Hey everyone, this is Kill Paris.
Hey guys, this is Conroe.
What's up guys, Deontay here.
And of course, a place where individuals like yourselves can take part in a global family.
Hey yo, this is Logan from Australia.
I'd like to shout out everyone who listens to Monstercat and remind you that you're awesome.
So glad I'm here.
So get yourself ready for an hour of fresh music, and it all starts right now.
With nothing to hold us back, these are the songs of the wild.
Hello there, and welcome to a very special episode of Call of the Wild. I'm Vital Mode.
And I'm Carisen, and we are the runners-up from last year's mix contest.
And we have the absolute honour of taking over today's episode of Call of the Wild.
We wanted our episode today to feature not only our favourite artists, but artists from our country down under here in Australia. So we've done just that.
So, sit back and relax as we both take you on a journey. First up is Australia's very own Throttle with his track, Bloom.
all you think about is you. No matter how hard you bring me down, all the shit I've been through, but still I beg for you.
Touch.
side. I run away with you to see some light. When ashes dropping down, we step aside. Just to search some light. I want you. I know we both escape too close to ground. We've been running for ages to search some light. We can feel every day out and running for nights. We feel so alive.
Not too long ago, myself as well as our good friends Baldy and Vital Mode put together an edit pack of our favourite edits from last year's mix contest. This is my favourite. This is my Wobble edit by Crankdat and Tizoki. Yo, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to everyone listening in from Australia right now, as well as Aussie artists and artists that have come to visit Australia at some point. It's been amazing supporting and meeting so many of you, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds. Let's play some more Aussie artists.
Bitch, I'm still a high roller. It's a little bit harder now. I just want it to be easy for you and me. Easy for you and me. Harder now. It gets a little bit harder now. I just want it to be easy for you and me. Easy for you and me.
it's not how it used to be. If only you could see how much you still mean to me. Okay, got a little far away. We got a little carried away. I wish you would have stayed.
Good morning, eyes open, I can see the light shining through. Good morning, blinds open, I'm coming home to you. Soft with the weather, cool with the breeze. Flip through the pages of reality. Float like a feather out to the sea. Roam like a lion, living wild and free. Just like that, snap my fingers. Just like that, dreams get bigger. Just like that, paint a picture. Just like that, just like that. Good evening, eyes closing, we can see the stars shining through. Good evening, blinds closing, it's just me and you. Soft with the weather, cool with the breeze. Flip through the pages of reality. Float like a feather out to the sea. Roam like a lion, living wild and free. Just like that, snap my fingers. Just like that, dreams get bigger. Just like that, paint a picture. Just like that, just like that, just like, just what you want, you have it. Just
Anywhere you go, I'll be right there. Anywhere you go, I'll be right there. Anywhere you go, I'll be right there. Anywhere you go, I'll be right there.
Oh baby, baby, I want to feel your love.
If you're enjoying this week's episode, let Vital Mode and I know. Feel free to tag us on social media, that's Vital Mode Music or Carisen DJ, and tell us what you thought. We'd really appreciate it. Now let's jump back into the music.
I want to feel your love. I want to feel your love. I want to feel your love.
Let's try it again. Je m'appelle Claude.
Je t'appelle Blue.
That's my love. I've never been a sweet time, hardly even smooth when it comes down to a cute girl in my room. I'm not even that young, can't blame it on the booze, cause whenever there's a cute girl, my brain hits the snooze. I got a prickle on my skin, I can play a violin, sing a serenade. Wow, summon flowers from my sleep, so caught up in your smell. Down to whatever you say, girl, I know we just met, but you make me speak français. Salut. Oui. Je t'aime. Très bien.
that's a wrap on today's episode of Call the Wild. Just wanted to give a special thanks to the Monstercat team for having myself and Carisen on for this episode. It's an absolute honor to host today's episode. We hope you all enjoyed today's episode, and Carisen and I hope to see you all very soon. Take care, everyone.
can't slow down. I'm at the speed of light. At the speed of light. I'm at the speed of light. At the speed of light.
That's a bad kitty.